What's up, family? Man, share a story with you guys. Um, a while back, um, years ago, I was a single parent of two, and one morning I was gonna take my kids to church. This was probably like '96, 1996. I was taking my two little ones to church with me, and jumped up, got dressed. It's all in the dark, you know what I mean? Got dressed, thinking I'm good, you know what I mean? Went to the bathroom, throw some water and stuff on my face, and you know what I mean? And I looked in the mirror, and man, fam, I felt good. I thought I looked okay. You know what I mean? I looked presentable. You know what I mean? It wasn't until I got to the bathroom, it wasn't until I turned the light on and looked in the mirror that, man, I realized, man, I was a hot mess. You know what I mean? Man, I looked all messed up. Man, I had crusty eye boogers. You know what I mean? I had slept so good, I had slobbered, dried up slobber coming down. I had dried up tear stuff coming down. Man, I looked all jacked up. My buttons were all messed up. They weren't aligned like they should have been. And all I could do was just start busting up laughing. All I could do was start laughing because I realized how much of a mess I looked. You know what I mean? And just a couple minutes before, man, I thought I felt good. I felt good about myself. I looked good. I looked presentable. You know what I mean? Man, I'm getting ready to go wake the kids up and have them start getting ready for church and woo-doo. You know what I mean? And I'm looking in the mirror and I turn on the light and I realize how messed up I looked. You know what I mean? How, man, how I was tore up, you know? What's that got to do with life? Family. It's not until we look at God, it's not until we look at our higher selves till that we realize where we're at in our life. You know what I mean? Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. Too often we're comparing ourselves to other people. Too often we're looking at our siblings. We're looking at our peers. We're looking at family members. We're looking at people our age group, that are successful or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Or we're looking at older people and where they're at in life and what they would do. And we're comparing ourselves to them. You know what I mean? Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. And so we get caught up sometimes in our emotions. We get caught up in comparison. You know what I mean? I used to have a wife, and we had like 5 kids together. 5 kids, you know what I mean? That we were raising. And she used to be mad in front. I mean, 5 little kids. My oldest, the two that I brought into the relationship, she brought one, and then we had two. And she used to look at all these older nurses, whose kids were grown and gone, and compare her life as a registered nurse to theirs. And man, she don't have this, and she don't have that, and she don't have this. And it's like I was constantly trying to tell her, like, man, look at who you're comparing yourself to. You're comparing yourself to people in their 50s and 60s whose kids are grown and gone. We got later ones, you know what I mean? We got babies. What are you talking about? No, we're not going to have the money that we want yet and all this other stuff. But she wasn't trying to hear that because of who she was comparing herself to. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. And so often we get so frustrated in life because we're comparing ourselves to other people. We're comparing ourselves to people that are our age group, and man, they look successful and they look happy, and we get on social media now, and man, it's everywhere. Everybody's happy, everybody's doing good, everybody's a queen, everybody's a boss, everybody's a king, everybody has the bag, everybody's all this blah blah blah, you know what I mean? And we comparing ourselves to all these people. Family, it's not until the light is turned on and you're able to see yourself, your true reflection. You know what I mean? And that can only be seen through the eyes of God. You know what I mean? That can only be seen through the eyes of God. You can't see yourself looking at everybody else. You can't see yourself being in the dark. In the dark, man, I felt good. In the dark, man, I thought I looked presentable. It wasn't until I turned the light on and looked in the mirror that, man, I realized, man, my buttons are all out of alignment. You know what I mean? Man, I got crusty eye boogers. Man, I got dried up slobber coming down my mouth. Man, I had dried up tear stuff coming down. Man, I looked a mess. But I couldn't see that until the light came on and then until I looked in the mirror. The light was on, but until I looked in the mirror, I didn't see how I looked. I couldn't see myself for who I was. Family, we have to learn to connect to God. You know what I mean? And I do that through meditation. I'm not talking about going to church and listen to people preach at you and preach down to you and all this other stuff. To each their own. If that's who you are, if that's what you do, man, do it. You know what I mean? You're not going to see a true reflection of who you are until you get in alignment with God. I don't care what you do with your life. It is only being in alignment with God, being connected to God, the light, and seeing a mirror of who you are. You can only see yourself through his eyes. And when you see yourself through his eyes, you see, man, I'm loving. I'm loved. Man, I'm valued. I'm valuable. I'm important. I matter. I matter. It don't matter how I feel. I matter. It don't matter whether there's anybody in my life. It don't matter that the last few months, last few years, I've been sleeping alone. It don't matter nobody want to holler at me. It don't matter that. Man, I matter. I'm loved. I'm the apple of his eye. He loves me. He adores me. And all the crap that I've gone through, although I saw it as crap, once I get in alignment with God, once I get connected to God and the light is turned on and I'm able to see it for what it is, I see that all the trials, all the things I've gone through, all the hurdles, all the setbacks, all the failures, all the disappointments, all the pain and suffering I endured, man, it's all good because I see them not as being painful. I see them not as being obstacles, not as being trials, not as tribulations, but I see them as lessons. I see them as tools that he used in my life to get me to where I'm at. The light has been turned on, so I'm able to see them for what they really are. And because I'm able to see them for what they really are, man, I'm grateful for them. I'm no longer bitter and mad and angry and pissed off because I had to go through what I had to go through. I'm no longer angry and pissed off because you left me, because you abandoned me, because you broke my heart, because you cheated on me, because man, I'm not tripping off that anymore. Man, I'm grateful. Why? Because I see it for what it really is. I get passionate when I start talking about stuff like this, you know what I mean? And I don't mean to come across as being preachy. I don't mean to come across as like I'm talking down or anything of that nature. You know, that's not what I'm about, you know what I mean? I'm just sharing with you guys, man, out of my love and passion, you know? And so what family, we have to connect with God. We got to stop letting everybody tell us who we are. We got to stop asking everybody, who am I? Why am I here? What's my purpose? They don't even know who the hell they are. They don't even know why they're here. They don't even know what their purpose is. How the hell can they tell you what yours is? Man, stop letting all these people gas you up into thinking you ain't crap. They're doing that because they don't feel like crap. And they don't want you to feel better than them. Misery loves company. Because they have doubt, because they have insecurities, because they have issues. Man, it is what it is. They're hurting you. And it may not even be intentional, family. And I've said this a lot. Hurt people hurt people. Healed people heal people. I'm going to say it one more time. Hurt people hurt people. Healed people heal people. So by connecting with God, man, and the light been turned on, and I'm able to see things for what they really are, man, the healing process kicks in. Man, I can start dealing with these things now because I'm able to see them for what they really are. You can't deal with something if you can't recognize it for what it really is. And the problem with the great majority of us, we're trying to heal stuff and we don't even know what the problem is. We're trying to fix something and we don't even see what it really is. My hope and prayer is that you recognize the importance of connecting to God. And when I say connect to God, I'm not talking about get into religion. When I say connect with God, I'm not talking about the dogma of Christianity and all these other religious groups. That's not what I'm talking about. And I have so many people comment and talk about, man, you got to accept Jesus Christ and you got to do this, you got to do. Man, I'm not trying to hear all of that. You can say what you want to say. I'm not trying to hear all that. Because their Bible tells us that, man, Cain and Abel, before there were any religions, according to the Bible, Cain and Abel, before there was Hebrewism and Judaism and Christianity and Islam and all this other stuff, before any of that stuff, according to the Bible, according to your scriptures, there was Cain and Abel. And Cain and Abel were brothers. Abel made sacrifices that pleased God. Abel had a relationship with God before there was religion. How the heck did he have a relationship with God before there was religion? Before Hebrewism came? Before Christianity came? Abel pleased God. His brother, Cain, didn't please God. His brother, out of jealousy, killed his own brother. Cain killed Abel out of jealousy because Abel's sacrifice to God pleased God. How the heck did they know who God was if there wasn't any religion? How the heck did they know who God was if there wasn't Christianity back then? How the heck did they know who God was if there wasn't Hebrewism back then? If there wasn't Islam back then? If there wasn't Buddhism back then? Or any of these other religions? How did they know who God was? How did they know how to communicate and to hear God? They heard God. They communicated with God without religion, without dogma. So don't tell me you got to have all this dogma in order to have a relationship with God. Don't tell me you got to have all this religion in order to have a relationship with God. Because your Bible tells you that these people have relationships with God before religion was ever established. Any religion according to your Bible. So how did they walk and talk with God? Eyes wide open. Eyes wide open. We have to open our eyes and be connected to God, to see things for how they really are, to hear things for how they really are. Now, I know this is going to piss off some people. I know this is going to offend some people. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's not my intention, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? We have to grow up. We have to grow up spiritually, emotionally, intellectually. We have to grow up. We have to get reconnected to God in order to understand why we've gone through what we've gone through, in order to understand and see things for the way they really are. Because without that alignment, man, we're just walking around in the dark. Without that alignment, we're just fumbling in the dark. It is the mirror of God that shows me who I am in his reflection. Let me say that again. It is the mirror that shows my reflection for how it really is. But I can only see that when the light is on. And the light is God. The mirror is God. And so when I look in the mirror in the light, I'm seeing me for who I really am. Not for all the yak that everybody say I am. Not for all my insecurities and low self-esteem and self-hatred and all that other stupid stuff. I don't see that stuff because the light's been turned on. And I see my true nature. My true nature is not this bald-headed black man. My true nature is not my issues. My true nature is not my failures. My true nature, your true nature, is your soul. It's your spirit. And your soul, your spirit, has no ethnicity. Your soul, your spirit isn't African American. It isn't Caucasian. It isn't Asian. It isn't Native American. It isn't any of that stuff. Eyes wide open. My hope and prayer is that you open your eyes, turn on the light, and look in the mirror and see who you are. And again, you have to be connected to God. I say this all the time. The late Dr. Miles Monroe said, where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. The only way that I can know who I am, the only way I can know why I'm here, the only way I can understand why I had to go through all that I had to go through is by being connected with God and asking Him. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.